Welcome to another episode of NFC East Beef. I'm your host, Hefe, and today I have a very special guest. This is Unc, my direct uncle, and one of the most aggressive Cowboy fans I know to
Not
date.
aggressive. I'm just been confident.
Very confident, very comfortable. He's been Cowboys fan for his whole life, and as loyal to Cowboys as I am to Commanders, Redskins, whatever you call them. But today I wanted to go over the draft. It was a couple weeks ago, and it has been a while since we had an episode. In case you didn't know, I had a new daughter, brand new baby
Congrats.
girl
Congrats.
coming. Thank you, thank
Yes.
you. And we moved and we bought our first home. So it's been
Congrats.
it's been hectic around here. But we are
All good
back.
things. All good things.
Yeah, getting ready for the new year, new football year. And some good news is we might have a giant representative coming through this year. So stay tuned for who that representative will be. But yeah, let's go get started with this video. We'll make some commentary afterwards. Stick around for that screen. All right. So what we just heard was basically A plus for Giants and Cowboys from those analysts, and B's for Commanders and Eagles. I'm curious to what you think about your boys.
I love the draft. I love what we did. I think finally, as you saw, we moved in the draft, which we haven't done in years to move around. So I was excited about the fact that we went after the players that really needed and wanted. Of course, we got Caleb Downs, which is sorely needed in the backfield for us. And then the other picks that we made. I'm actually really excited about a free agent, not a free agent pick we made. It's a tight end out of what is that cat out of? But he's a sleeper.
Undrafted free agent or
Undrafted free agent. Yeah. Let me try to see who he is. But yeah, he was really Michael Trigg. Michael Trigg.
Mhm.
Michael Trigg's going to be a big name. He's kind of like going to come out of nowhere, like our receiver. What's his name? The not CD, but George Pickens.
George Pickens.
George Pickens was drafted, but nobody thought he was going to be George Pickens, right? So
Mhm.
I think Michael Trigg is a big tight end. He's fast, and so I'm excited about adding him. But Caleb Downs is big. Our other defensive players are big. The biggest thing really is, we got a new defensive coordinator. I think that we could have kept some of the same
Yeah.
players, and I think we would have been a better defense. Our defense can't get any worse than it was last year. So bringing in the defensive coordinator from Philly, a lot of young coaches around the ball, plus these great draft picks, mostly defensive. I think that's the reason why we got that A plus. I think that we did a phenomenal job.
Now, to your credit, and
You hate to do that.
I'm realistic. I hate the star more than I hate the players. You know, and I think one, I was upset when y'all got downs. I was like, y'all Browns and the Dolphins, y'all had one job. Y'all yeah, and they let me down. To your point, you were able to trade because you had two first round picks, and it's not usual that you do that. Um, Also, it I'll be honest, it really doesn't matter who your tight end is. You have tight end development.
No, we
You
have
can get
lots of tight ends. You know what I mean? But
whoever your tight end is, they're gonna eat. It's Schultz, it's
yeah,
Ferguson, it
yeah.
doesn't matter who your
I
tight
just
end is
like
gonna
that
be,
we
they're
got
gonna eat.
another one, and
Yeah.
he can actually play receiver. He's big, so
Mm.
I can imagine in a third, with the three receivers out there plus the tight end, Mike Trigg being out there with Pickens, and it becomes ugly. You know what I mean? So
Now I will say, while it's rookie year, we don't know what's gonna happen. I'm not as worried about the Malachi Lawrence pick in college. He ate. I'm just going off of Dallas's picks off of the defensive line recently, in the past couple of years. Now, I will say last year's pick, I think it was second or third round. What's his name? Something, um, from Boston College. I do like him. I think he is a force. Honestly, I like him better than the guy you got in the first round this year.
Hmm.
But Malachi Lawrence doesn't really scream threat to me. But what does scream threat is joining forces with Keenan Williams. And if somehow during the summer y'all pull off a Max Crosby or whatever happens, but him by himself isn't as much of a threat to me as y'all getting downs. That was huge.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, getting down is big. I mean, Malachi Lawrence, I mean, him by himself, like you said, he's good. But him with Overton and a couple other cats together,
mhm,
um, he's just gonna be. It's gonna be easy for him to play. So I think they were very methodical about who they drafted uh,
mhm,
to make sure they complemented the people that were they left on the team. Because if you follow Dallas, we got rid of like five of our starters in defense
mhm.
before the draft, and the logic was they were too small, which is one of the reasons our run game sucked last year. So them getting rid of five starters and basically piecing together between free agency and in the draft to get big guys that can run and are speedy, um, I think shows a lot of their confidence in what's going to happen, including with Lawrence. So
Well, they said
we really wanted that kid Sonny Styles, but now that he's over in the Burgundy and Gold, he gonna suck. So he gonna suck. He was
hey,
gonna be
hey,
good until he got there. Now
uh,
he gonna be
that
like
that's
all of
how it works. So they put on the jersey and then that's when they
it's
become
and it
trash.
goes bad.
Oh,
It
okay.
goes bad.
Well, you heard the analyst say it. I want to hear it from your mouth just so I can keep record of it. Is this the year? They said, "Oh, you're Super Bowl
I've
contenders."
never done that. I know y'all like to say that.
You never did that?
I've never done.
Never?
No, I've never done the it's the year thing. I'm not that dude. But what I would say
Maybe
is
you
that
don't do it anymore.
Nope, I've never done that. But I would say that our defense is going to be a lot better. Our offense was very good last year,
Yeah.
and I love our coaching now, both defensive and offensively. So I think that we definitely should be in the winning space. I think that we will be probably one of the best teams in the NFC at the very least in the league. And then it's that bug, it's that injury thing. So
I know all about that.
yeah, so Overton, I mean, if Overton played and some other cats played, last year, we probably wouldn't have had as bad of a season. But
Overton. Overshown?
Overshawn, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Um, Overshawn and some other injuries we had, we probably wouldn't have had as bad of a season.
Mhm.
But you never know what injuries are going to hit, and so I think that we will be super competitive. I like that offense is coming back. I'm disappointed that they didn't sign George Pickens to a long-term contract, but Jerry Jones plays games with free agents, so
Mhm.
we'll see what happens. But no, I think it's going to be a great year for us. I think
Well, to your point on the offense, like you always have point scoring offense.
yeah,
That's what y'all have had. To be fair, both of our teams had a top 10 offense in the league last year, and both of us were on the couch come playoff time. I think the league has transitioned. I mean, once we saw Mahomes, we saw the Allens, we saw the Lamars, we saw that offenses were going to matter, and then the league has adjusted to you had to have a defense.
yeah, you have to.
And the teams that focused on defense went to the playoffs. The
Yep,
Texans,
yep,
with CJ Stroud playing like trash, they went to the
yeah,
playoffs because their defense was nasty, right? So even the Patriots, like Drake May, I have respect for Drake May. But when it came playoff time, their defense carried them all the way.
hmm
So if you don't have a defense nowadays, it's pretty much wraps.
yeah. You need a
Even with
defense.
what's up?
No, I said no. I'm agreeing with you. You need a defense. I
Yeah.
mean, we had one of the best quarterback plays of the year with
Hmm.
Dak. We've had the best two of the best receivers. We had our running back got over 1,000 yards. We had our tight end got over 1,500 yards. Our offensive line, and we
Wait, you had
lost.
a tight end over 1,500 yards?
Yeah, I think what's his name had over 1,500 yards.
Ferguson had 1,500 yards?
Let me confirm. But
Oof.
he had a great year.
I know
Um,
I mean, like I said, tight ends in Dallas always have a good year, but to have two wide receivers over 1,000, a running back over 1,000, and
That's what I'm saying. We had even if he didn't have 15, we have those are two receivers, that tight end, that running back had amazing years, and we still had a terrible record. and
yeah, yeah. Well, you didn't have Terry. You were average. You were
we
eight,
were worse than average because
eight and
we were
nine.
only average because we made those trades, a trade deadline, and we got
Mm,
some wins. But prior to that, we were scoring 40 points and losing.
that's wild.
This
That's
crazy. We were
wild.
scoring 40 points a week and losing. So
All
yeah,
right.
we were worse than average. Yeah.
Well, let's flip script to the two teams that are not being represented here really quick. So the Giants. Now, I will say, um, Alvaro Reese, they got a dub there. Francis Maunoa, I think I butchered his name, but the offensive
Yeah,
tackle,
he's a great offensive tackle.
great pickup. I was hoping they would get slighted or they went tackle first, but when Arvell Reese didn't go to the Jets, I figured he was going to go to either the Cardinals or the Giants. Um, but I'm less worried about the Giants draft pick, and I am more worried about Harbaugh getting the boys into shape.
Well, the reason why he left or he got kicked out of the Ravens is good. He's a bad play caller when it comes crunch time, and so I think that with the quarterback, with the running back game, with the receiver neighbors, I think they have a good offense for him to work, no different than what he had in Baltimore. But
You
to
think he
me,
had a better offense? I don't want to understand.
I think he had a better offense in Baltimore, but I
Right,
think
right, right.
that I
Okay.
think that New York has the makings of a pretty damn good offense, with their running back, with their receiver, with the quarter with Jake. I mean, I think they can do
Mm.
well. They got good offensive linemen. They weren't, Giants weren't terrible last year. They just, after the injury with
Scatterboo.
Gadaboo, they had to find a running back, and so I think if they're healthy, Harbaugh is a type of player to kind of, like you said, kind of get them in shape. But his history is calling really bad plays at the really wrong time.
Mm.
So, and I don't think that's. I mean, that's his track record. So, I'm not really afraid of Harbaugh from that standpoint. I'm more afraid of that. The Giants' defense is not bad last
No,
year,
their defense is
and
solid.
and so I think they got a little better. You added a good offensive lineman there, and you added some good defense, Arvell Reese. So I think that going back to what you said about just the lead, they got a better defense than they had already,
Hmm.
and it was good. And now if they can keep healthy again, um, the coaching in New York was sucked last year, so I'm sure it'll be better. But I don't think New York's gonna. I don't see New York as like a top contender.
No, I got them above 6 games though. I got them,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
more than what they've had over the years.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I
I mean, I
think
think they'll probably. I think they might be 50-50. I mean, they might break even.
And I think that obviously it comes down to like injuries. I mean, neighbors went out last year early. Scatterboo. I think the thing that they were looking at last year, they were terrible. I mean, they won 4 games, just like we were terrible. But the what it came down to, they saw promise where they needed to see promise. They saw that dart. All right, you can be the guy.
No, he can be the guy.
Scatterboo.
He can be the
Um,
guy.
their
Yeah.
young cats did pretty well. Abdul Carter started off slow, but then he came around. So I think that defensive line that you mentioned, now they have Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Thibodeau, Arvell Reese in the front seven.
That's a
That's
hell of a defense, man.
that's solid.
And if you
Um,
think about it, the from what you just said, the with Dart and Scatterboo and Neighbors all lining, better offensive line, and those cats that played last
Isaiah Likely,
likely, yeah, I forgot likely's there now. So
Ricard.
you so
Hmm.
you take that plus the experience that the young guys got last year because the other ones were hurt. You get some depth. So I mean they can play some good games, I think, But
Hmm.
I think with the competition they have to play, being in the NFC East, it's gonna be a rough road for them this year.
Now, I want to switch gears to a team that I'm not as threatened, and they're a good team. There's no doubt about it. Whatever drama they got going on, they are a good team. I want to move on to the Eagles, where I'm not, even though they got Makai Lemon, which I was kind of pissed at first. I think Makai Lemon is a good athlete and he's going to be a good player. When I look at their Super Bowl winning team, their roster up and down, I'm not as threatened by this current roster, even after that. they had a good draft. They had a decent draft, but like I'm not feeling the energy. I think Jalen Hurts has stuff going on behind the scenes. If that bothers him or not, I don't care. I'm just not as threatened as the group as a whole anymore.
Yeah, I think that Philly was overrated last year. I think they're overrated this year. Um, I don't see them as a threat in winning the NFC East. I think that
I think
and
they're a threat to win the NFC East. I just don't think they're a threat to a
I don't
Super
think
Bowl.
so. I think
So
that
you
they
think
have
you got it clear, is what you're saying.
no,
You
no, no. I didn't say us. We didn't talk about y'all yet. But I'm saying I think that Philly. I think Philly has a lot of problems, and they showed last year. I think that every year you play in the league, other teams start to really hone in on your skill set,
Mhm.
especially as a quarterback. And I think that people have really gotten Jalen Hurts' number, and it showed last year. And unless he does some huge adjustments coming into this year,
Mhm.
um, I think they're going to have a lot of issues because now you don't have AJ.
AJ Brown.
That was your go-to guy, and then you stop using him in the second half of the year. You still got your second, but you've got new receivers. I don't think Mekhi Lemon is going to be a superstar. I'm telling you, I don't think. I think he's going to be more of a head case. Um,
Well, you
and
can be both.
yeah, he can be both, but I don't see superstar. I think that he's gonna want the ball. I think that he's not gonna get the ball when he wants it. He's gonna be another AJ Brown. He has to get used to stardom. He's got to get used to Philly
Mhm.
fans.
Philly's tough. Yeah, Philly's tough.
If you have a bad game, your car might be full of water, stuff like that. So I think he has a lot of adjustment. I don't think this is going to be some breakout year for him. So I think Philly has an uphill battle. And I think they'll be, and they have a decently hard schedule too. So I think that they will
No,
struggle to
they got
win.
an easy. They got easy schedule than the rest of us combined.
Well, I look at those strength of schedules things, and I think it really depends because even though you might have people that they're basing the schedule off what they did last year, some of those teams got incredibly
Fair,
better, like
fair,
incredibly better.
fair.
So I think that it won't be as easy as people think it is, and so I just think that they're gonna have issues. I mean, I really do.
Yeah, I think people underestimate how. I mean, I saw firsthand. I'm Washington. I saw AJ Brown tear us up twice a year for what 4 years. And I think people are underestimating how it did. Jalen Hurts didn't have to be accurate when throwing to him.
Right?
You didn't have to be accurate,
Yeah, you go
and
get.
to a certain extent, you didn't have to do that with Smitty. To a certain extent, because he was
Mhm,
good at creating separation and
mhm,
contested balls. Um, I'm not sure how Lemon's going to do. I'm going to be honest. I uh, didn't consider him a choice for us at 7, so I didn't do as much research on him
mhm.
at during the combine and all that stuff. But I'm just not as afraid now. If not afraid, threatened. But I mean, I gotta respect the fact that they brought in Tariq Woolen as a cornerback. Now you got uh Dejan, uh you got Quinyon and what's I just mentioned dude's name. Woolen. I think that cornerback room is tough. You
Yeah,
still
but
got
here's you got. So the quote that says, "I can give you my recipe, but the sauce ain't gonna be the same."
that's fair. That's
So no,
fair.
no, no. What I'm saying is, we we took their defensive coordinator that was their cornerbacks and defensive back coach.
Mhm.
So now that he was a critical part of that 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 defense, and it's gone. So
How long
even
was he there
they,
for?
huh?
How long was he in
He
Philly
was
for?
Philly for like 4 or 5 years. He was through the Super
Okay.
Bowl years.
Okay.
So um, the thing about it is, you take away the coach that really was instrumental in getting those guys where they are. You take them away, you put another coach there. They may not play as well. Just think about the Cowboys, where 2 years ago our defense was amazing, and we had a different coach, and then we got a bad coach, and all of a sudden our defense sucked, right? And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the same players. So a lot of times, when you take the coach away from something like that, I think you see a big fall off.
And I think so I will acknowledge because I can hear Eagles fans now. They're screaming in my ear
It's screaming
that,
it.
yeah.
Called whining.
uh, Now that may be the case for their defense. We have seen their offense uh, become accustomed to new coordinators each year, and they still are, getting five Pro Bowlers a year, still going to the playoffs, winning the division. So I know that their offense can adjust. I don't know if their defense can. So I will
That's
say that.
that's what I'm posing is that I think we take their key coaches away because not only did that coach leave, but he brought some coaches from Philly defense.
Yeah,
So you took a lot of coaching away from those players and schemes. And if a new coach comes in and wants to do a new scheme, you don't know what's going to happen. And trust me, I can attest to that with Cowboys. You just
yeah.
don't know what's going to happen.
And I'll definitely say that I've noticed something this offseason and past couple off seasons, and I want Eagles fans to write down in the comments. Every offseason, it seems like for a trade package, they're willing to ship off Jalen Carter. Have you noticed that? I
Mm-hmm.
always
Mm-hmm.
every offseason there's a rumor that like, oh, Jalen Carter's on the market.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why. If it was an attitude he produces, maybe he's not good in the locker room. Maybe that's why. But AJ Brown not good in the locker room, and he's still there as of the second, and y'all put up with that. So why are you shopping him every offseason if he destroys offensive lines? He plugs up the hole. And I talked to an Eagles fan. He said, "Well, the production's not there." What's production? He said, "Well, he's not getting sacks. He's a nose tackle.
Yeah.
He's they're not getting.
That's because they don't understand football, Jeff. They
Fair.
don't understand football. Like
Fair. I'll,
they're
I'll have
like
to
he didn't
get
get
Jalen on
sacks. He's
here
not
or
supposed to
David
get
on here, and we could talk about it. But moving on because I am on the time crunch. So
David, we're waiting for you, David. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Last team we're gonna talk about my boys, the Commanders. Now I will agree with the B rating for this draft class, not because I don't like the picks, but because we didn't have enough of them. We didn't make enough of an impact. Not having a second round or fourth round pick really stumped us. I think Styles was um, knock out the park. I was really happy. I was like, oh, okay, we're going to get Styles or Downs. We're going to get one of them. I'm going to be happy regardless. And then I was just fingers crossed that the other one didn't go to Dallas. That was my biggest worry. And it happened anyways. But I think Styles was great. Enough people have talked about him, so I won't have to go further. I agree that at first when I heard Antonio Williams, I was a little head scratcher. But
I like.
I think creating separation is something that our team lacked.
Well,
Terry isn't a room. He's not a separator. He's a
yeah,
contested catch guy.
yeah, but Debo didn't do any great things last year.
He
Terry did fine, but Debo
rebuttal
wasn't some great. Like I know y'all picked him up, but he didn't change
re,
the game. And of course, you didn't have your quarterback, but Debo wasn't great. I think y'all need another big receiver.
yes, we do, but I will defend Debo on this. Debo was the best wide receiver two we had since Deshaun Jackson. So what does that mean, right? What does that mean to
It
the
means
other?
that's no difference. And I got two pair of black shoes.
What I'm saying. Well, first of all, Deshaun Jackson had 1,000 yards as a wide receiver too. That's first. So don't disrespect that.
Okay.
Secondly, I will say that it matters because we went to the NFC Championship game with Terry being the wide receiver one, healthy all year. Great. Do you know who our second leading receiver was?
Mm-mm.
Take a wild guess.
I don't remember.
Zach Ertz
Yeah.
at tight end.
But y'all went to the championship games
Right. So what is
on some
needed?
fluke plays and some lucky
We went
wins.
to the NFC Championship
Yes,
game on fluke
yes.
plays.
Y'all had like 5 games. Y'all won by half a point type thing. Like
You
y'all were
can't win
lucky.
by half a point, but
Y'all were lucky to get to
we
your.
had a lot of lucky things happen.
You did.
But
So
I
so
to
I'm
say
saying
we
that I
didn't
wouldn't.
deserve to go to the NFC Championship game,
No.
to go into the number first of all, when we had the doink field goal for the Bucks, right? Doink off the upright. I see how that is lucky. But one, it's not like that the Bucks were winning at that point. The game was tied. So I to say that we would have lost immediately just because of doink, I don't think that's true. Two, to go as a sixth seed into the best team in the league at the time into their house and not only win, but win in impressive fashion, in perfect game, and then to go to Philly where we got our ass whooped. Um, I don't think to say we didn't deserve to go there because of a Hail Mary that happened in week 5. Weak. That's a weak take.
I just
That's
think
an
you had
absolute.
a lot of lucky plays. But I
What
mean,
about the
you
things that
got
went
there.
wrong for
You
us?
got there. You got there. You know
What
what I
about
mean?
the things that went wrong for us? What about the game where y'all were demolishing us and we had a 30-second touchdown with 30 seconds left with Terry and we missed the extra point?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some things went bad too. Regardless, we're
Well,
gonna
I
move
got
on.
you. I got
But
you.
my
But
point
y'all
being,
needed a big receiver. Is my point.
we do need a big receiver, and I think that's what everybody wants. But it's not like New England had a big receiver last year.
Yeah,
It's
but
not like,
New England didn't play anybody last year. They had the terrible
but they
schedule.
went to the Super Bowl.
I
Is my
got
point.
it, but it's the same thing. Like I respect
We got a
teams.
third place schedule.
I respect teams that go to Super Bowl, go to championship, of course. But when you are there because of just weak schedules, not playing anybody, quick, lucky wins, then you just gotta be realistic going into the next year. That year when y'all went to the NFC Championship, hooray! Everything got the places. When last year when New England got there, I mean hooray! But they didn't play anybody, so they knew that Seattle was going to crush them, right?
Well, I'll
So
argue that Seattle don't have a big receiver either.
no, I'm not saying the receiver. I'm saying Seattle played hard last year, some hard teams, and beat everybody they supposed
Yeah.
to beat. And so going into the Super Bowl, you're like, hey, they proved that they could beat it just about anybody, right? The Rams and everybody else.
Mhm.
New England didn't do that. So I just, going with the Commanders. That's the first time I call them Commanders in a long time. Going with, going with the Redskins. um, I think that y'all actually, I think your draft wasn't bad. I think y'all filled spots y'all really needed with some
Mhm.
offensive linemen and the receiver. You got a running back. So I think that like y'all filled some spaces you all needed. Um, I don't believe in your coach as a head coach. I think he had a great year when y'all went to the NFC Championship. Last year, not so great. That's kind of his history. So he's a great defensive coordinator. He was great for us in the Cowboys. But I think you're going to see some bad coaching because that's kind of what he shows. And Jalen,
When did he
okay,
show bad coaching?
what's that?
When did he show bad coaching?
When he was with the Falcons.
All right, I'm talking about with us. He's
No,
this
no,
is his
no.
third
Last
year. Like,
year he had bad
what did he
coaching
show?
games.
That was 10 years
Oh,
ago.
no, but last year he had bad coaching games.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
when?
I don't remember each game, but I remember he had some bad coaching games. But my point is, you have some coaching issues on the horizon, right? Because that's his history as a head coach, and so he freaks, he panics is what he does, and that's why you end up in a situation.
I'd argue for what, 5 years, 6 years of head coaching, right? 6 years of head coaching. You've gone to the Super Bowl and you've gone to the NFC Championship game twice. Um, I would say that that's not terrible. And maybe I'm coming from a different mindset, because that was the best year of my life, right? Maybe I'm coming from a different mindset. But I would say the reason why Dan Quinn still has his job, and I agree with it, is because last year was abysmal for multiple
Yeah, you have
reasons.
injury. Yeah, you have
We
injury.
had we had multiple injuries. We didn't have Terry got out week 2. Jaden only played 7 games. We had not 1, 2, or 3 edges, but we had 4 edges completely gone for the season. Our RB1 was out. Like we were abysmal. So
And that's why
I
I'm
I
saying
think
I'm not questioning that he's still there. I don't question that he's still there. My point is that his history in head coaching positions is that he starts to freak out and he makes bad decisions, right?
he has a
So
better record than Shoddy, or what's his name?
Schottenheimer became a coach last year for the first time. This is his
What
first
is
time.
what is the dude that Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy went to the Super
Mike
Bowl
McCarthy's
with
a bum. Mike McCarthy's a bum. And I don't know why the Pittsburgh picked him up. But Mike McCarthy's a bum coach. So I'm not going to even compare Quinn to him. But And I feel bad for all you Pittsburgh Steelers fans because y'all are getting ready.
Look,
Y'all are
all
getting
right. So
y'all are
I'll
getting
have to
ready to give
move.
you.
I'm gonna
But
move
I
this
just want
along
to
a little
say,
quickly.
Jaden Daniels, if he doesn't gain weight this offseason and he doesn't adjust his game to try to wait to the last second to throw that ball, he's gonna get crushed again. He's gonna get hurt again, and I don't want to see that for him.
I
But
think
he's gonna have more problems than he did this year. I mean last year because he's too small for how he runs. And if you look at Lamar, Lamar did the same thing. Was always injured until he gained weight. He's got to gain weight, and he's got to come up with something different and think that he can outrun or outspin everybody.
so.
Not
There's a reason. There's a reason we got rid of Cliff. And I liked Cliff. It pained me to see him go. His offense was very tricky, very dangerous, right? Which it showed last year. And they had a disagreement on change of style for Jaden's offense. And the reason we promoted Blau, which was the quarterback's coach, we promoted him quickly. The Lions wanted him. We were like, no, we're going to keep him here. We're changing the offense. He'll be under center more. We're changing the protections and the run schemes, everything. So I'm not as worried about him getting injured. Now, you talk about his frame if he gets stronger. That boy is squatting 405. Wild work.
who told you that?
I saw it on the video. He working out with Terry and De'Ami Brown in LA. I saw him do it. I'll send it to you after this. But he squatted 405. All right, young man.
I
That I
mean,
think
if like I said, if he doesn't gain weight and get bigger, he's gonna get hurt again,
and I think
and he
the
has to
point
adjust his
is we want to turn him in. Well, first of all, he came out the league a better pocket passer than Lamar. Now Lamar was a better runner. Some will argue the better quarterback overall. Yes, two-time MVP. Got you. But came out the league a better passer than Lamar is now. So if you turn Jaden into a pocket passer and then you run when you need to, then great. It
But
also helps that you
who's your
have
running back?
Bill Crosby Merritt right now. Um,
That's not gonna
First of
work.
all, put some spec on Bill name. He did better than statistically. He did better than Genty and Travion Henderson, and because he played less games, he had I think 890. Genty had 900 and played all 17 games. I think Bill
What,
only paid
what I'm saying is that
10.
he's not your go-to running back that allows Jaden Daniels to be freed up to make these
Why
decisions
not?
because he's just not that good. He's not. He's not that
You
quick
didn't
off the
even you didn't
ball.
even know he was RRB.
No, I forgot his name. I know you're talking about. But y'all had two running backs last year. Yeah, I forgot the other guy, Rodriguez. But but
Well, Rodriguez was third and fourth string. We
right,
had
but
Eckler tear his Achilles week
yeah,
2.
Eckler. So I'm just saying, if you got Eckler back there, then that gives Jaden more options.
We
So
got Rashad White now.
yeah,
Mm.
but we'll see. But he's got at first, Jaden's got to gain weight and he's got to adjust his game to stop trying to think that he can run
I'm
away.
telling you right now, don't worry about Jay. All I'm worried
I'm
about
worried
is
about Jaden, man.
don't worry
He
about
gets
Jay.
hurt again. Don't be mad when I call you and say
No, no,
I
no, no.
told you.
Here's my goal for this year. Here's my goal for this year. Now, people are crapping on Jaden right now because he got injured last year. They're already calling him injury prone.
He
Why?
is.
How? It's been 1 year.
He's two. He's been injured. He was injured the first year.
He played every game the
No,
first
but he
year.
still got injured. He played, but he was still getting
He got
injured
injured. He got injured one game
twice
on his
in the
ribs.
first year as a
No, he
rookie.
got injured once.
It was his leg one time and something.
No, he
But
didn't
my
get
point,
injured with his leg. He got
but
injured with his ribs against the Panthers. I was at the game.
yeah,
And that was it. They were like, oh, it's lingering this, it's lingering that. Cool. But he still played every game.
yeah. But you
Now,
hurt doesn't mean you're playing 100%.
every player is playing hurt. Unc.
Not every player.
Every player
When
is
a
getting
quarterback
injured.
is hurt, it's very evident. When a quarterback is hurt, it's evident. They can't
Okay.
move as fast. They can't. They're
Last
not
year,
everything.
so
When
I
Dak
know
was hurt,
quarterbacks that
when
got
Dak was playing hurt, he didn't look good. When he
okay.
played healthy, he looks amazing, right?
So
So
quarterbacks that have gotten injured and were out for the rest of the season. Is Patrick Mahomes injury prone?
no, not right now. He only had one
Why not?
because he only had one
He's
year
got
of that.
season-ending injuries twice.
No, but he only had
He's
one
there.
real. He only had one real injury that
No, no, no,
caused him
no.
to be
Three
out like
years
that?
ago, he got was it 3 or 4 years ago? Uh, whichever year they didn't make it to the playoffs, whatever. He had a season ending injury then too.
Mhm.
But we don't want to talk about that, and it's only his second year. So
Yeah.
now I'm thinking. I'll give a good analogy because we got 5 minutes. Good analogy. You remember how the NFC East? We won the NFC East. We went to the NFC Championship 2 years ago, right? And then the next year, y'all were like, "Oh, it's a fluke. Let's see him do it again." Right? That's how I feel about the injury. It's like, whoa, it's been 1 year, y'all. He got injured one time.
Okay.
Lamar gets injured all the time, and he's a two-time MVP. It's okay. Everybody calm down.
Because you ain't
All
won a
right.
Super Bowl with it.
No, but Mahomes has.
No. Yeah,
You
but
know,
Mahomes is not
Bur-
injury prone when he gets
Burrow
injured.
gets injured every other year. He went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I get it. He went once and then he didn't play very well after that. He was injured most of last year.
You
But
know what I would
my
do to
thing,
just see
I
a Super
just
Bowl?
no, but I don't want as much as I hate the Redskins, as much as I can't stand the colors. I don't, I live near the stadium. I can't even drive past the stadium. And congrats on the new stadium. It's gonna be nice, right? But I don't want Jaden to get hurt because I think he's a good person. I think he's a good football player, and I think he has amazing perspective progress. I just think that they're putting him in a failing position if they don't put weight on him and they don't give him some more options than just to try to outrun everybody. I just think
Yeah,
he's
I think they took care of the weapons this year. I think I'm not. We don't have time to get into the Ayuk situation, but I think they took care of the weapons part.
you're gonna
I
end up
like
getting Brandon. You probably end up getting Brandon Ayuk.
or Diggs.
Brandon
We'll
Ayuk is
see.
going through a mental thing right now.
I'd
He's
rather
living in
have Diggs than
Africa.
Ayuk at this point. But
Yeah, but he's living in Africa. He don't want to talk to nobody. Like Brandon Ayuk's going through some crazy thing.
yeah,
But I think,
I'm not. We don't have time to talk about
but
that.
yeah,
But we got Chiga Conquo. I like him. We brought back Terry. Terry's coming back healthy and at training camp. We're bringing back Diami Brown and Antonio Williams. So I'm
isn't
not.
Debo coming back?
He's not on our team yet. No, he's a free agent.
I thought
I would love for Debo to come back. I'd
I
take
think he's
Debo.
coming back. I know somebody who does some stuff with him, and I think he's coming back.
I would love Debo to come back just for not 20 plus mil a year. Anyways, before we close
So
out,
so no, so you have to answer the question you asked me. So is this your year?
uh, I don't know if it's our year. My goal has always been, you can backtrack episodes too. I told Jalen this. Um, my goal this year is for people to see the W on our schedule and not think it's an automatic dub. I want people to like see our name, which means hopefully it's a playoff team, and they see, oh, all right, that's Jaden. Yeah, we gotta look out for that. That's my goal. Whether that looks
That's
like
a
nine
very
and eight,
low goal, bro.
huh?
That's a very low goal.
First of all, Cowboys fans like to think they know our pain. You don't know our
Yeah,
pain.
I don't want your pain. I would never.
Exactly. So what I
But I'm
say,
just
what I
saying that's a
want,
very
that's a
low
low
goal
goal.
to say
A
I
goal
want
to
to
be
go
a
through the
threat.
season and people don't think that we're just
If it's a low goal, I
L.
want to be a threat. I want to be a threat. I want people to see our logo on their schedule and be worried about it.
So
That's
you don't
not a
want to go to
low
the
goal.
NFC
That's
Championship
where,
game?
huh?
You don't want to go to the NFC Championship game?
I would love to,
So why is
but
that?
because I would argue that if we did that, we are a threat. I would argue if we did that, you see us on the schedule, we are a threat. So I think that covers that. I don't think it's a low goal. I think that we haven't been a threat. We've been stepped on. We've been disrespected for years. And we finally have a chance to say, okay, Jaden took us further than any other quarterback in over 33 years. The next year he was injured. If he can be a playoff threat or take this team to the playoff again in 2 years, that's more than I've seen in my years. So I think people see that I'd say playoffs. If that makes you feel better. Playoffs, that's my
That's
goal.
way better than being
But
scared
I
of
want to
on
be,
your schedule.
but
Yeah.
I'd still
And
say
that's
that
what for
that
me.
argument.
And that's for me. My goal is for us to win an NFC East and win a couple of playoff games. I would be ecstatic. I would be super ecstatic.
I want to be a threat.
Yeah. I want to win.
Period.
I want to
I,
win.
I want
And
people
see,
to
people,
respect
that's the
us.
difference between the Cowboys and the Redskins. Is we want to win, and they want to be a threat.
The difference
That's their pain.
is that
That's their pain.
just like maybe not like you, which we could talk about, because I guarantee you I heard this is our year plenty of times
Not
when I
for
was
me.
younger.
Not for
Come
me.
on now.
Not for
But
me.
I would say I'm a real, at least I am. I'm not going to speak for all of Washington fans. I'm a realistic fan. I love my team. I see we have struggles and I see we have potential. But where I want to be, what my goal is, I want people to see us and then worry about us. Period.
I get you. So
And
real quick,
I've never had that. You've had that for years. Even though you didn't go to the NFC Championship game, you had Romo with Dez and
yeah,
DeMarco Murray.
yeah,
You had
yeah,
Witten. You
yeah,
had Dak with the Zeke
yeah.
and Sean Lee. You had Micah Parsons.
And CD
You were
Lamb and all that.
considered a threat.
Yep.
We were never considered a threat until JD came.
Okay.
So speaking from I will say cowboy privilege, when you get 8 games on prime time a year, even though you have a losing record, right? You're always considered a threat.
Yeah.
We weren't that.
I get
So
it.
yes, I want to be respected.
I
Period.
got it. So real quick question, 'cause I know you got to go. Washington Wizards. They're keeping the number one pick and drafting AJ, or
Ah, I don't care, dude.
they're gonna they're gonna
I
they're gonna.
truly don't.
The Washington sports team is just horrible.
I
So
do. I don't care.
y'all are gonna trade that pick.
I could care less what they do.
Y'all are gonna.
I want them to do better. I'll say Washington sports, I think it was 2019, where 3 of our teams won the ship in one year. I like that. That felt good. I don't think
It wasn't the Redskins though, right?
it wasn't a red, it was the Caps, the Nationals, and the Mystics. All in one year. That was respect for the city. But I'm hoping JD can change that a little bit. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
But yeah.
All right. What do you last question? What are we doing when we meet up? Are we splitting? What are we doing? Are y'all sweeping us?
Oh, we're sweeping y'all. Yeah.
I think it's a split. I think
You,
it's a split.
you would hope so, but no, we definitely
I
beat
think the only reason why y'all swept us last year was because of injuries.
injuries and y'all just weren't good. I mean,
We weren't good.
yeah,
But y'all, I mean, I think you started to come back against y'all on Christmas,
yeah,
and
it was too
maybe
late.
y'all gave up, maybe y'all didn't care, don't care.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean
I think it's a split.
unless we play the last game of the year and we don't need to win, we're sweeping y'all.
All right. Well, that's all we got for you for another episode of NFC East Beef. Write down your comments, what you thought, what you disagree with, what you do agree with, and I want to hear your team's predictions as well. So, from now on, I'm going to add at least one other guest to each episode. But yeah, if you know,
I got a great female Cowboys fan that I think you would love to come and debate.
okay. All right. Something else I'd like to have you on for. What we started last year were highlight reactions, but how it's set up is, let's say it's you and I on here, and I'm not watching Dallas game. You're probably not watching the Washington game. We react to each other's games, but you can't talk during the entire Cowboys highlight. So I can say the most obnoxious stuff that we want to do or that I want to say about Dallas, and you guys save all your comments for the end. And then same thing for me. You can say
Okay,
all the BS you want to say.
let's do it.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Well, I'm gonna log off here, but I appreciate y'all guys coming through and sitting with us for 47 minutes. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.
Thank you.